Hello, and welcome to AOE's 2026 Marketing Trends presentation. I'm Drew Burns, Director of Client Strategy at AOE, and I'm here with AOE team members, Emily Emanuelson, Publications Manager, and Vicky Sakaris, Senior Account Manager. Today, we want to share the 5 trends in marketing we have identified to monitor in 2026. First, we will walk through some of the data supporting these trends with a special look at how AI is influencing all of these trends as well. In 2025, marketers prioritized data foundations looking at metrics and analytics, but are now focusing on automation, workflow efficiency, and equipping their teams with the right tools they need to get the job done. As AI adoption grows, our marketers must communicate its use authentically and thoughtfully through clear policies and clear messaging, and utilizing the human touch when using AI tools. However, AI is helping marketers craft more creative and thoughtful and audience-specific engagement strategies and content. The fragmented digital landscape that we're seeing and the algorithms pulling our audiences in different directions requires our marketers to approach SEO, digital ads, and content creation with much greater nuance than before. And video, podcasts, and other digital mediums are going to be key in driving marketing engagement in the next year. So some of the top challenges that we have seen, and this is coming from our survey that we put out to our audience, mostly marketers within the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. And when we asked them what their top challenges were, workforce development and talent management was one of the top challenges, as well as worries about potential recession or economic issues, as well as AI integration. Followed closely behind these was the changing digital landscape and how, as I mentioned earlier, how fragmented audiences are across the digital landscape. And one of the more interesting things too is we're seeing cybersecurity concerns and challenges growing in compared to prior years as well. We also asked our audience how they intend to allocate funding for outsourcing their marketing needs. A lot of marketers are outsourcing things like video production and website design services. Interestingly, market research and analytics are going to be outsourced more in the coming year as well. When asked what the main goals for using social media are with our audience, brand awareness stood out as the number 1 reason for utilizing social media, followed, interestingly enough, by positioning themselves as subject matter experts. Our industry, specifically in the architecture, engineering, and construction world, focuses on a lot of thought leaders or subject matter experts in the field. So there's a lot of people utilizing social media to position themselves in those realms. When it comes to platforms that people are using, it's no surprise that LinkedIn continues to be the number 1 platform used when it comes to our audience, but we're also seeing this with other reports as well, followed by Instagram and Facebook. Interestingly enough, people are starting to use Reddit even more as a social platform. We are also seeing Reddit being used a lot as a search engine platform while people are looking for answers to common questions. Now, moving into AI, we want to make sure that we discuss, of course, AI. We want to make sure that people understand we're not really seeing it as a trend anymore. AI is really something that is a tool or a reality that we're all working with in our marketing efforts today. So I want to hand over the slides here now to Emily, who is also our AI practice group leader. So Emily, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Drew. All right. So yeah, AI is a very important part of marketing and those types of things these days. 91% of respondents to the Goldcast video marketing report said that they're currently using AI tools in marketing strategy. So 91% is pretty high. As far as where it's going next year and beyond, LLMs, or large language models, have grown significantly in capabilities this year. LLMs understand and generate human-like text. They're trained on vast amounts of text data, allowing it to perform tasks like answering questions, writing content, and generating text based on user prompts. What we're expecting 2025 to 2027 is the rise of AI agents. These are software programs designed to interact with their environment, collect data, and perform tasks automatically to achieve specific goals. They can make rational decisions based on perceptions of data. We're also seeing the growth of multimodal AI. These are systems that can process and integrate info from multiple kinds of data like text, images, video, audio, and other sensory data. In the future, 2026 to 2030, we're seeing advancements in robotics. This is the idea of combining AI with machinery to create machines that can perform tasks independently, things like sorting, recycling properly, and putting toys away. And then far into the future, 2028 to 2030, is approaching artificial general intelligence, also known as strong AI, full AI, or human level AI. These are programs that experience some form of sentience or consciousness. This is a little far in the future, but just so that we know that it's on the cusp. Looking at the Goldcast Video Marketing Report 2025, people responded how they were using AI and things like that. So as we discussed, 91 respondents said they're using AI tools in their marketing strategy, particularly for content creation, reporting, and email marketing. 77% of marketers report that AI has provided the highest value in content creation. And then right behind that is 59% in reporting, 50% video production, 48% content repurposing. And finally, 88% of respondents use AI for tasks such as automated video editing, transcriptions and captions, and generating clips. We surveyed our clients about how you are using AI, and here are the responses that we got. AI is being used across marketing functions instead of as a trend. It's proving to be a tool with very many uses. 92 of our respondents said they use it for writing assistance and cleaning reports, things like that. 42% transcript generation, 46% photo generation and graphic design. We didn't get anyone saying they were using it for chatbots. This is a little different kind of AI, and it takes a lot of programming, but 13% use it for translation, customer relationship management, and then also people use it for digital assistance and email automation. What were some key themes about AI that we learned this year? First is AI is a force multiplier. It augments professional expertise, but it does not replace it. It handles repetitive, data-intensive tasks, bringing people to focus on high-value strategic work. A good way to think of it is as the smartest, most forgetful intern that's capable of incredible work, but it always requires direction and supervision. Another theme is the importance of human-AI collaboration, which balances AI's processing power with human critical thinking. The best model for using AI is as a partnership. It provides processing power and initial drafts, but humans provide critical thinking, ethical oversight, and final validation. All outputs must be verified by humans, especially when dealing with technical specifications or code sections where errors have very significant consequences. A third theme was ethics and security, things like data privacy, bias mitigation, and secure platforms. Data privacy is a very important topic in all of this, and it's important to prioritize it. And along with that, to mitigate algorithmic bias, because AI learns from all of the internet, it absorbs our biases as well. So it's important to look for that. The golden rule when it comes to data privacy is if you're not paying for the product, your data is being used to train the models. And finally, the dual benefits of efficiency and innovation. AI can improve your daily job, but it also can help elevate your creative potential. It streamlines established workflows, but also unlocks things that you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. It allows us to analyze problems in new ways and generate solutions that may not have been possible before. Some applications are things like deep research, using AI to analyze trends, knowledge sharing, which is creating centralized knowledge base for past projects to share with your team, transcribing meeting notes, analyzing reports, design and documentation, and predictive assistance, things like analyzing data from past projects and identifying potential bottlenecks and new ones before they occur. Another important part, maybe one of the most hot button topics in the last month or so, is how it is altering search. So generative AI platforms like ChatGPT and Google AI overviews are transforming search behavior. People are searching in these programs rather than going to the websites for answers. Users are favoring instant conversational answers over traditional search results. Because of this, things like Reddit are popping up higher on search results because of AI. This causes a decline in click-through rates from top-ranking Google content, and AI search traffic is poised to surpass traditional organic search traffic by 2028. Later in this presentation, we'll go over how to adapt your SEO strategy to align with this shift in searching behavior. Now I'm going to hand it back over to Drew, and we're going to start going over the trends of 2026.
All right, thanks, Emily. So that all hopefully set the stage for what we've identified as our trends in 2026. So without any further ado, launching right in, our first trend is going to be enhancing user experience through audience strategy. Marketers are also focusing on engagement through video and podcasting, focused on developing authentic brand awareness and engagement, maximizing their digital impact, and streamlining workflows. So now we're going to dive into each of these a little bit more. So our first trend, enhancing user experience through audience strategy. We're seeing a lot of this from our associations in particular. They're asking for a lot of help related to membership programs, engagement, recruitment, retention. The November 2025 ASAE Insight Update on association challenges noted that over 50% of their respondents indicated membership recruitment as either their number one or number two biggest challenge. And this quote from the CMO Alliance survey this last year really puts it all into perspective for me. The rising customer acquisition costs that people are seeing and the resource limits that we are all seeing with our budgets are pushing marketers to maximize their existing audiences through segmentation, nurturing, and personalization. So diving into what works. So as markets are becoming saturated, our marketers are doubling down on their audience and honing in on what they know works well. When we're talking about user or customer experience design, we're talking about the process of creating digital products or experiences that are enjoyable to your audience, that are accessible and seamless for your users to interact with. And we're really talking about the ease in which your audience interacts with your company marketing and technology. So your website, your newsletter, your social media, all of those items. And these quotes, again, I like quotes because they help drive home the point here. But we're talking about the sum of every interaction your client has with your firm, and that we're moving beyond a one-size-fits-all experience when we're talking about marketing. No longer are we marketing to broad audiences in general. We're tailoring our strategy to the needs of our specific audience that may have loyalty with us. So some factors that's driving this are advances in AI, as Emily just pointed out. This is allowing us more time to fine-tune this more nuanced messaging or our integrated marketing strategies. Social commerce is growing on social media platforms, including the integration of shopping features into social media, as well as for-profit organizations are starting to adopt subscription-based models of business. We're seeing a lot more social commerce digitally. There's an increased uptick for hiring CRM and database managers within marketing within our industries due to the rapid growth of customer relationship management and the necessity of data-driven decision-making in the business of what we do. And as I mentioned earlier, fragmented algorithms are meaning that our social platforms are no longer catering to broad audiences, and we have to think niche. Consider, if you're not already, developing platform-specific content, which we'll discuss a little bit more later as well. And we talked about user experience design and what we mean by that, but what do we mean by audience strategy? Our team at AOE likes to develop plans surrounded around the audience strategy for each of our clients. And what we do is develop a plan focused on understanding and engaging your target audience by using data to tailor that content and to tailor the experiences to the needs of the audiences, the behaviors of your audience, and the unique motivations of your audience. When we're developing audience strategy, it usually starts with market research. So what we mean by that is uncovering the information you need to understand your audience and to influence your audience. So this could be surveys, either information from past focus groups or future focus groups that you hold, interviews, customer feedback, and then secondary research of things going on in the market. And what you're looking for here are trends in your audience, behaviors that they commonly have, decision-making factors, common questions that your team might get asked on your products or from your audience, and maybe even insight from your competitors. From there, what we do is segment our audiences based on demographics, psychology, their behaviors, their frequency of being a client or a member. And this helps inform the different content that you develop for those segments. For each segment, you want to identify the pain points of those segments, map out the customer journey or your audience journey, all the way from awareness to brand loyalty. And then from there, you can craft specific messaging for your different segments. When we're talking about audience strategy too, you don't want to look just at demographics. Many of you may have developed personas for your audience, but as you can see, you don't want to focus just on demographics, because these two folks on the screen have the exact same demographics, but have much different motivations in their buying patterns and their brand loyalty. So your strategy and your personas shouldn't focus on demographics, but should be about the problems and the challenges that your clients or your members are facing. So some tips to drive user experience and brand loyalty are creating interactive content that's becoming more important in content marketing strategies, especially as brands seek more immersive ways to connect with their audiences and drive niche content. So some examples of this include quizzes and polls, webinars and live streams. A lot of people are starting to go live and even host town halls for their companies in live platforms like on LinkedIn. Surveys and feedback loops. This is a great way to gain insight to what your audience needs and your clients are needing from you. Interactive videos and experiential events are gaining popularity as well. People are choosing to utilize apps or specific platforms outside of just websites. This goes back to what I mentioned earlier with a lot of for-profit companies starting to use subscription-based models of business. And influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is becoming more and more prevalent and more useful at a micro level, not just at a large-scale macro level. It really allows you to hit niche audiences and maybe potential audience members that you haven't reached in the past. And now we're going to go into trend 2, which is engagement through video and podcasting. And I'm going to hand it over to Vicky now.
Thank you, Drew. Let's talk about video first. Instagram has over 2 billion active users. A huge chunk of those users follow brands and companies, so that's a massive opportunity for businesses. YouTube sees more than 500 hours of content uploaded every minute. So video is used by 91% of businesses as a marketing tool. If you're not using video, you're missing out. The stats on this slide are from the Goldcast 2025 Video Marketing Report. But here's the biggest challenge: production time and resources. And here's how those survey respondents are tackling these issues. 85% of marketers have reported significant cost savings with new video production approaches and software. Of those implementing video, 90% are repurposing video content for multiple channels. And 73% of marketers planned to increase video production by at least 10% this year. Video dominates social, with short form clips leading the way, in particular on Instagram, Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Here are some stats to consider. The Pew Research Center recently listed YouTube as the most used social platform by U.S. adults, followed by Facebook, Instagram, and to a lesser extent, TikTok. Among these, YouTube and TikTok are primarily video-focused platforms, while Instagram caters to both video and image content. If you're looking to reach younger audiences, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat remain widely used among U.S. teens. Nearly half of Instagram's Android users' time is now spent on Reels, according to digital market intelligence company Sensor Tower. Plus, Ad revenue from Instagram Reels is growing. This growth corresponds with a big drop in the share of ad spend from Facebook Stories and a more modest drop from the main feed, according to Sensor Tower's 2025 State of Digital Advertising Report. Social media management platform Amplify surveyed 564 marketers across B2C and B2B and found that 73% of respondents say short form video will dominate their content strategy in 2026. Now, short form formats perform best because they are fast, authentic, and algorithm friendly, making them the most efficient path to engagement and conversion. Of the marketers surveyed, 34% will prioritize long form videos, while 24% will prioritize live video. So other forms of video are not dead. Marketing videos can help generate engagement, brand awareness, and leads. And this is especially true if your video gets a lot of traction on social platforms. Video content is often more engaging than static images and easier to digest than text. And AOE recommends using captions or text overlays with video, as often people watch without sound. Consider the following types of videos: demos, how-tos, live events, interviews, case studies. They all perform well. Now we can move on to podcasting. Podcasts have 580 million listeners globally, with the expectation for this market to continue rising. 55% of the US population, 12 and over, listen to a podcast at least once a month. And video podcasts are on the rise. 40% of US listeners prefer watchable podcasts. And 34% of Americans listen to 8.3 episodes a week. YouTube is the #1 source of podcast consumption. However, YouTube videos over 30 minutes long retain only 10% of viewers, so it's good to keep your podcast shorter. Podcasts can be presented as mini-series, Q&A sessions, case studies, roundtable discussions, and pitching your team to potential industry podcasts is a good practice if you don't want to launch your own. Examples could be NRMCA's Concrete Credentials podcast, join as a guest. So we have tips and potential impact of podcasting. Engage your audience, leverage the interactive nature of podcasting by incorporating submitted questions from your audience, hosting interesting guests, of course, and using listener polls to spark discussions. Blend content types, and this means combining technical information with fun or feel-good segments to keep the content engaging and relatable. Target niche audiences. Podcasts are ideal for reaching niche audiences, making them a powerful tool for specialized topics or industries. Enhance knowledge transfer. Present your highly technical conversations in an informal, approachable manner through a conversational podcast to improve knowledge sharing, especially in technical fields. Collaborate strategically, partner with nonprofits, universities, industry associations, or government agencies to expand your reach and credibility. And optimize your resources with AI. Minimize your staff time by repurposing existing content and using AI tools such as content and voice modules to create pre-recorded segments efficiently. AOE's podcast, which targets the AEC marketing audience, has seen the growth of more than 1,500 followers in the past 6 months. Our top performing podcast this year has seen more than 21,000 views. Watch our podcast to get ideas. We're also excited to announce that AOE has a new portable podcast service, bringing professional quality podcasting directly to clients wherever they are. This offering makes it easier than ever to create engaging on-the-go audio content for our clients, such as right from their annual meetings or from trade shows. Back to AOE recommendations. Tailor your content to the platform. What works for TikTok might not work on LinkedIn. Make sure you're thinking about the platform audiences when you're putting together ideas. Prioritize short form videos, vertical formats, Focus on keeping things concise, engaging, and to the point. But again, longer form still has a purpose for technical topics, series interviews, video podcasting, etc. Live video is also gaining traction, whether it's webinars or Q&As or behind the scenes glimpses. Live video feeds feel more authentic and allow for real-time interaction. And consider asking for user-generated content. Don't forget to encourage your audience to create videos or share their videos featuring your products or services. Or if you're an association, utilize your members to submit testimonials or to share videos from your events. It's a great way to build trust and community. And that's all I have. I'm going to turn this back to Drew.
All right, thank you, Vicky. Our third trend is authentic brand awareness and engagement. And I think this trend can seem like a no-brainer to a lot of marketers, but what's important here is that relationship marketing is back, but just kind of in a different way. Audiences are fragmented and marketing dollars, as we noted, are being spent to dive into audience motivations, especially with the rise of AI tools. This is leading to the return of relationship marketing, but in the digital landscape. So how do we create collateral for brands that can stand out in these spaces? Well, it's being proven that people respond to authentic, organic, and consistent social media and marketing content, trusting the experience of customers and trusted voices. So early social media saw a very sales-driven and performance-based advertising style of content generation. Brand awareness campaigns with audience-specific messaging keep brands competitive in a very saturated market and allows them to mature into newer markets that they might want to get involved in. Obviously, engagement rates and metrics help track this, but what marketing professionals are dedicating more resources towards are awareness campaigns, thought leadership content, reputation management campaigns, and bilingual resource development as well. And what we're trying to do here is drive brand loyalty through transparency. It's quickly becoming no longer enough to simply say you're authentic, but you need to start showing it if you're not already, and making steps to advocate for your transparent nature. So ideas of how you can build loyalty through transparency. Vicky mentioned this earlier. Sharing behind the scenes content helps create a level of comfortability with your clients, gives your audience a glimpse into your company culture and the people who make your brand tick. Being transparent about your processes is really important, and although it seems boring, can really help instill trust in your audience. Engaging in real conversations is a great way to build engagement with your audience. Not just broadcasting your message, but listening to what audience members have to say, either by soliciting feedback, maybe having clips of them sharing their experience or being interviewed on a podcast, or even just a testimonial on social media. Responding to comments and questions and being open to feedback helps convey the level of transparency your company has. Brands are shifting from a follower count mentality to creating high value, closer communities for deeper and more authentic engagement. And one way we're seeing this being done is through customer satisfaction dashboards. And this is something that we think is going to become more prevalent, not even just in this next year, but in the years to come as well. The rise of millennials in leadership positions is requiring a change in how we convey information and share information, and making sure we're focused on collaboration and giving people the things that they need to make decisions easily and effectively. That's the new currency. That saves time, that makes things efficient for people, and it's eventually translates to money. Again, these younger generations are processing complicated information by looking up reviews, quick metrics, and company information that's easily and readily accessible in an efficient manner. So think like Carfax or Credit Karma, complicated information distilled into a dashboard graphic or a way that people can quickly understand the impacts that your company has before they make any decisions about even contact your company. The SMPS Foundation showed that 80% of their survey respondents see a growing demand for clients to make buying decisions based off of proof of ROI. So that's just feeding into this need for quick information that proves the reasons or helps support the reasons why a consumer would go with your product or with your service or with your association or become a member. This calls back to some earlier notes we had on CRM and database managers being expected to have a hiring increase in those roles in our industry over the next few years. Here's some visual concepts of what these dashboards look like. You'll often see things like a net promoter score, customer retention rates, customer effort score or response rates. The second one down here is more of an association side of things, maybe a dashboard for your login for your members once you are on your website that shows different upcoming events or personalized information that's relevant to them. And then AOE has even done a version of this. Every year we compile the different items we've done throughout the year, whether it's presentations, social media posts, or what have you. It provides a lot of information into one location so somebody can quickly see the impact of what we've done in the last year. Some tips for authentic content personalization. Prioritizing human creativity when using your AI tools makes your organic content really stick out. Personalization is more than including a name on the top of an email. It's zeroing in on what's important to the individual and expressing that. Personalization is about making each customer feel like you get them. It's about tailoring the entire experience to them. Documenting your audience strategy can really help train your AI tools as well. And create internal and external dashboards like we just talked about to track progress internally and foster transparency externally. Showcasing real client or member conversations helps gain a level of comfortability with your audience. And testing and enhancing your strategies over time is key. You can't just set things and forget them. You want to be constantly tailoring these strategies. Trend 4 is all about maximizing digital impact. Specifically when we're talking about how the online landscape is changing when it relates to SEO and AI, as well as digital ads, and how we're seeing a move for some organizations in our industry to focus more on digital advertising as well. So that said, I'm going to hand it over to Vicki again, who's going to talk a little bit more about digital advertising.
Thank you, Drew. Quick overview of digital advertising. These are paid promotional campaigns on platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, and Google, and through Google Ads to target specific professional, or in our case, professional demographics, job titles, or interest groups. Strategies could include retargeting campaigns, carousel ads, video ads, ads to get lead generation, and the potential audience reach of digital ads. They precisely target professionals who may not yet be aware of you, but who are actively searching for solutions or are part of key audience segments, because you could target them based on their searches or their geography, their job titles, their roles, their interests, the events they attend. And these digital advertising really allows you to customize ad campaigns based on your budget, which is great. You can make adjustments in near real time. You could start with a small budget and make a big impact. And if you see it's doing great, you can increase that budget. Potential impacts of digital advertising. It increases visibility for key initiatives, drives registrations for webinars and workshops. It can be used to promote high-value publications, materials you have to a wider relevant audience. Platforms like Feather can geo-target specific industry events where you know your audience will be and target them with ads for subsequent months. You can do simple post boosting on LinkedIn to generate thousands of new viewers for a small cost. Larger ongoing campaigns can reach hundreds of thousands of people and be targeted to drive conversions to your website or downloads, purchases. And you could track metrics like click-through rate, conversion rate, and cost per lead, impressions, and reach to see how these ads are doing. A case study to show an example of how digital advertising can work for you is the American Concrete Pumping Association launched a safety campaign in January 2023 to raise awareness of ASME B30.27, the safety standard for material placement systems. And the campaign emphasizes the responsibilities of every trade working on, with, or around concrete pumps, with the ultimate goal of ensuring job site safety for everybody on the concrete pumping site. At the heart of the campaign is a microsite designed to be a one-stop resource for anyone involved with concrete pump equipment. And the challenge was to reach the right audience, pumpers and contractors and others on job sites, and drive them to the website. So to achieve this, ACPA partnered with AOE to create an ongoing awareness campaign. We used the Feather digital advertising platform, and we launched 19 targeted ad campaigns during that first year of this long-running campaign. And this included mobile geofencing ads to target audiences by location or event, search keyword ads that captured relevant online searches and targeted the ads to those searchers, affinity audience targeting people in the construction industry, and email campaigns to reach key stakeholders directly. These efforts over the course of this year resulted into a 176% increase in website traffic. So it worked. ACPA allocated a robust advertising budget to achieve fast, impactful results, including outsourcing ad development and deploying Feather's experienced team as part of our ad team. But AOE and our clients have successfully used more cost-effective options within the platform. And at minimum, costs include an annual subscription fee and monthly ad spend, making it a flexible solution for campaigns of varying budgets. You don't have to do this year-long campaign. We've seen results with short-term campaigns as well. But it was a great success story. We were very pleased with the huge increase in traffic. That's all I have. I'm going to send this back to Drew.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about search engine optimization. So Emily, do you want to take it over?
Yeah, absolutely. SEO is all about content optimization and how to get your content and websites to show up. Traditional search engine optimization maximized content for tools like Google, but AI has changed the landscape a little bit with things like artificial engine optimization, or AEO. It's an AI search, and social media is being used more as a search engine than traditional search engines. Things like YouTube, Reddit, and Facebook. There's also generative engine optimization, GEO, which is about making content visible in AI-generated search results. So what are GEO and AEO? GEO is optimizing content to be cited by AI models. AEO is structuring content for AI-powered snippets and overviews. So AEO, for example, is the AI-generated answer whenever you search a question in Google or Bing. GEO is the citation that the AI answer includes to back up its claims. So when you search something in a search engine and it comes up with the AI search results, it includes both AEO and GEO. These are a little different from SEO. SEO focuses on ranking, while GEO and AEO focus on visibility in AI-driven environments. So why do these matter? According to research by SEMrush, AI referrals are 4.4 times more valuable than traditional search visitors. ChatGPT users are 4 times more likely to convert than Google users. And it's predicted that AI search will grow and traditional search will decline for websites over time. Also, that AI channels will drive similar amounts of economic value globally by the end of 2027 and potentially go far beyond that in later years. So it's increasing exponentially, the importance of these. There are unique opportunities with this new advancement. One is to increase visibility through AI citations and snippets, and to have competitive advantages in the evolving search landscape. So some key strategies. First is altering your content structure. Things like FAQs, lists, and schema markups These perform very well in AI search results, lead with direct answers, and expand with supporting details. It's also important that the content on your website has authority and trust. So cite evidence-backed data and third-party validation, and maintain transparency with clear authorship and sources. You can also use AI native workflows, AI tools for keyword research, content clustering, and optimization. So you don't need to do all this research manually. GEO and AEO share similar strategies for visibility. Most important is to make your content easy to search and to back up your claims with research. How to measure success. First is visibility, which is making sure you're covering the most relevant topic. The share of voice, making sure that your voice is one of the main voices on the topic that you care about, so that you are one of the experts. Number of citations is also important. These are when other people or search engines cite your materials in their own content. Next is ranking, how popular your website is in your industry compared to your competitors. And last but not least, an important measure of success is sentiment, whether people generally have a positive, neutral, or negative view of your company. How to optimize your content to meet all these new ranking standards. One is voice search optimization. Voice search is changing how people look for things. Instead of typing, people are asking Siri or Alexa. Today, roughly 1 in 5 internet users use voice search online. This is important because people talk differently than they type. So voice searches tend to be longer and more conversational. To optimize your content for voice searching, you should use natural language in your text. Avoid jargon unless the industry uses it in complicated sentences. Also, answer questions directly in your text. Use question-based keywords and provide clear, concise answers. Having bilingual resources is also very important. Drew will be going over bilingual resources in more detail, but I just wanted to offer an example of how important these are. For example, the Concrete Foundations Association offers an industry magazine in both English and Spanish, and both versions get a lot of views every time, showing that there's a real hunger for content in Spanish.
Yeah, thank you, Emily. We've definitely been seeing this in multiple clients and downloads we've seen from resources on their websites or information that they've seen from their marketing content views. Specifically, some of our clients like the Concrete Pavement Technology Center have seen some of their resources downloaded more than their English versions, meaning that those resources are getting used a lot more than the English counterparts. It's not surprising when you think about Hispanic workers are making up over 30% of the US construction workforce. And if your resources are going towards contractors and the people working in the field, then you really need to make sure that you're translating your key technical guides and your summaries and your content into those languages to make sure they get into the right hands. Why this is important, it goes beyond just providing your information and resources to the right audiences, but we're talking about safety and risk mitigation as well. These language barriers are a significant safety concern. And if non-native English speakers are facing higher risks of workplace accidents due to communication breakdowns, we need to make sure we're addressing those issues. It also improves productivity and efficiency. Misunderstandings caused by language gaps can lead to delays, and projects with robust communication practices are 34% more likely to finish on time. So this could significantly cut down your productivity and efficiency. Knowledge transfer as well is a reason why this is very important. These bilingual resources ensure that technical guides and these training materials are accessible to a broader audience and enhance knowledge retention and application within the industry. And it also helps with workforce development. As we've noted, one of the top concerns for marketers is workforce development and the people that they work with. So equipping your workers with industry-specific vocabulary and safety terminology in their native language empowers them to more actively contribute to your workplace as well as the industry at large. And now our final trend, trend number 5, streamlining workflows. This was taken from the 2025 AEC Inspire report from Unanet. And the key here is that business concerns have shifted in 2 ways compared to the prior year. Firms are much more less worried about uncontrollable business disruptions and more concerned about talent acquisition and retaining their talent. And with economic conditions, they're much more worried about things like unemployment than things that they cannot control. This is also taken from that report. And while there's a lot of information on here, the 2 key things I want to highlight are those in that top 3 section where we just put stars, the industry concerns and the resource management challenges. The number 1 concerns and the challenge is talent acquisition and the ability to hire talent. So this is clearly a documented, issue within the industry. Again, going back to what our survey results said with the biggest challenges going into 2026, workforce development and talent management being one of those top concerns. When we think about why AEC marketers are stretched thin, and when we say AEC, we're talking about architecture, engineering, and construction industries. This graphic from an open asset report breaks down the general duties of marketers. And as you can see, marketers touch a wide range of operational needs from data management, business development, branding, and organizational activities. And that's why harnessing the tools available now effectively can help streamline our multifaceted work as marketers in the industry. One of the ways we're seeing businesses kind of shift in regard to this is reallocating their budgets toward technology infrastructure. And what we mean by that are things like CRM development, marketing automation platforms, integrated dashboard solutions like we just mentioned earlier, or systems that improve long-term operational efficiency. And oftentimes that flows into marketing as well. Automation on LinkedIn or other social platforms is also something that organizations are exploring. LinkedIn automation can achieve 70% invitation acceptance rates and 50% reply rates through systematic outreach that connects with their prospects via LinkedIn and sends personalized intro messages. And that's all done automated. So you can see the impact at a large scale could be very big for things like this. When we're talking about automated messaging, we're talking about pre-written messages sent automatically via channels like text, email, or social media that are triggered by a schedule. This saves time, eliminates manual effort, and improves efficiency, and allows for personalized messages at a very large scale. A lot of you are doing this already without necessarily realizing it, but this is going to become even more of a thing as we move into the next few years. So where people are using this commonly are in welcome messages, either with new clients or new members, event or meeting reminders, marketing campaigns that are specific, or feedback loops, gathering surveys on a regular basis, sending out emails with survey links regularly, things like that. Some tool examples, and some you may know, some might be new. Drop Cowboy is one I just learned about. It's ringless voicemail. Basically, you can create a large batch of voicemail messages recorded by different voices, either folks from your customer service team, maybe a specific salesperson, maybe your company CEO, and it drops those voicemails into your customer's voicemail box automatically, not something that you have to dial and call and record. You can send it out to 100 or 1,000 people at once, all through one recording. Sessionize is a speaker management software, similarly sending out reminders, calls for abstracts, things like that, useful for associations. Hootsuite is a social media scheduling platform. There's a lot of them out there, as well as your association management software or your CRM software often has systems to automate your messaging within them as well. I wanted to bring this graphic up quickly, again from that Uninet report, but talking specifically about succession plans. So about 70% of these AEC firms have succession plans in place, which is a pretty high number for at least some key positions, and about 1 in 5 intend to build them soon. But what we really want to see with succession plans is not just focusing on senior leadership, but also succession planning throughout departments, throughout your team to nurture a new level of leadership in the future too. So the outlooks for succession planning involves a more proactive and data-driven approach than compared to last year's. And in 2026, the key trends that we're seeing in succession planning include making it a continuous process. Strategic businesses prioritize succession planning multiple times throughout the year instead of just as a periodic HR tasks. And leveraging AI and data analytics to help nurture your talent identification process or your talent search if it's external, but really placing a stronger emphasis on inclusive leadership development throughout your organization, not just at the executive level, and focusing on nurturing your talent to fill the future positions you might have with your organization. We've compiled some resources here on our website, both from our podcast and in our blog section on specifically succession planning within the AEC industries. So make sure you take a look at some of these resources after today's presentation. And that really wraps it up. As a quick summary, our 2026 marketing trends that we're seeing, our marketers are enhancing user experience through audience strategy. They're focusing on engagement and increasing engagement through video and podcasting. They're focused on creating authentic brand awareness and engagement with their audiences. They're maximizing their digital impact through things like making sure SEO is maximized in the right way with AI, as well as exploring digital advertising options. And marketers are also, number 5, streamlining their workflows through automation, messaging, and AI tools that are available today. With that, thank you for listening to our 2026 Trends presentation. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of great resources on our website at www.aoeteam.com. Be sure to check out our podcasts and our blog section. Again, thank you and have a great 2026.